based on a series of novels which I haven't read. But John Sayles is credited as one of the screenwriters. John Sayles was on the programme a few weeks ago, and of course, it's a really, really great filmmaker. He made his own sort of fantasy movie, The Secret of Rowan Inish, The Legend of Rowan Inish, some time ago. Anyway, story is a mother and her kids mother who seems to be in the process of separating from her husband, as is always the case with these stories, now moves into a run-down, decrepit house which used to be lived in by an aunt who has now gone mad and has apparently been carted off to the lunatic asylum, although of course she isn't mad, because it turns out that when the kids move into the house, the person who used to live there, their great uncle Spiderwick, had documented and chronicled all the fairies and elves that live in the nearby vicinity, and his document had become so authoritative that now all the goblins want to get into the house to get it so that they can take control of the fairy world. So kids, house, creaky stuff, special effects, and what they have to do is to keep the book safe.
Let me guess, the book's got a charm on it.
Lest there fall any more harm on it.
Great. They're not leaving.
I know.
They're never leaving.
I heard you.
Why does he want that book so bad?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
All I know is Mulgraf can't break the circle without this book, so we're safe as long as we stay in the house.
Until when? We stay here long enough, we're gonna end up like her.
Wait a minute. She can help us.
Aunt Lucinda, are you kidding? We don't even know her, or where she is.
I think I do. She's at the Woodhaven Sanatorium. But how do you get to her? If you step outside that circle, I'll get you.
Thimbletack knows a secret way. But in the house, the book must stay.
Rated PG for scary moments and moderate fancy violence, which is obviously the reason it wins my respect. Here's the thing with Spiderwick Chronicles. I didn't go in with huge expectations. I went to see it last weekend because, like Horton, it kind of previewed last weekend, and I took my kids to see it. And they really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought the story was well told. It's directed by Mark Waters, who made that remake of Freaky Friday, which is very good. He also made Just Like Heaven, which is very terrible, and he made Mean Girls, which is very successful. And it's shot by Caleb Deschanel, who did things like Right Stuff and Passion, and it's what when I was a kid, what I wanted from movies was a good spooky story with an element of threat, an element of tension, edge of your seat stuff, monsters. I wanted happy endings, fine, and you do get a happy ending in this, although it's also a melancholic ending. But en route, you get some quite big, scary creatures. You get two pretty good performances by Freddie Highmore, because he plays twins. He plays one twin who is sort of difficult and stroppy, and one twin who is kind of quiet and not difficult and stroppy, and he does that quite well. I mean, he's a perfectly good actor. He's obviously turning into a very fine and talented performer. But I just thought it was well done. The thing it reminded me of was, you remember when I famously got Bridge of Terabithia wrong, Bridge to Terabithia, yes. And I didn't like it at all, and a load of people wrote in and said, look,
you're wrong, and you went to see it again.
I went to see it again, and I thought, I'm still to be convinced that it's quite as good as some of our listeners thought, but I think I did misjudge it. And this is, some of the reviews of this have said, it's Harry Potter light, because anything now with magic and kids is you just say, it's Harry Potter light. It's not. It's actually much closer in tone to Bridge to Terabithia. I think it's a better film than that. I thought it was interesting. It was a good, well-told story. I believed in the characters. There were a couple of moments that were scary, a couple of moments in which it was, arms around the kids because there was big monstrous stuff happening, and it resolved handsomely. And I thought, if I was a kid, that's the film that I would want to see. The only thing I would say is, for the particularly young end of it, there are bits in it that are scary. I mean, they're comically scary, but they are, nowadays, CGI monsters can be pretty roaring things.